You're watching the interview. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Among minorities victims of discrimination on a daily basis are the deaf mute. The expression of deaf mute is often used to refer to people who can neither speak nor hear. Yet, these people, even with speech and hearing disabilities, are capable to express themselves in writing, through sign language, and in other ways that we will discover thanks to our guest today. Of course, today we will see if in Gabon, deaf-mute people or sign language speakers are well integrated in a community. The topic being definitely deaf-mute people, sign language speakers, and social integration in Gabon. Our guest is Mr. Paul Munzegu, who is manager of Sign Language Consulting Cabinet. Sir, hello. Welcome to Gabon 24.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Hello.
We're very happy having you here.
Thank you.
All right. So please, can you deeply introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yes, I'm Anissa Munzegu. Normally, I'm a Spanish teacher.
Okay.
And also a sign language interpreter and a writer also.
All right. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, definitely you are a writer. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're going to talk about your books. Huh? Okay. Let me just show it to the viewers. This is the first book entitled Histoire d'un père trouvé.
Of course.
I suppose it's a novel, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty good. And the second one is L'univers, is an essay, I think. L'univers des sourds au Gabon entre histoire et lutte. You can have it. Well, so that's pretty good. We will come back, okay, a bit later during our interview. Right. So let's talk a little bit about sign language, definitely. Except those, except the signs or sign language, are there other ways, deaf-mute people can communicate?
Of course, except sign language, deaf people can write and use messages.
Okay.
Yeah.
They can write?
Yeah, of course.
Do they have their own alphabet, maybe? I don't know.
No, they use the same alphabet that you use in French.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Okay. So definitely, as long as we are talking about deaf-mute people in Gabon and their integration, why not? I wish you could, why not, translate some words and expressions. How will you say definitely love?
Love in sign language?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We have it here, love.
Okay, this is love.
Because we have hurt here and put here.
Okay.
Because this is A and put here love.
Oh, that's pretty good. So if I say love, that is wrong.
It is possible, but it's better to put it here.
Yeah, because we have the heart in this side. Okay, that's pretty good. So what about father?
Father, put here. Father.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yes.
So let me imagine if father is here, so maybe mother is here.
Oh, congratulations, Mr. B. Now you're learning.
So maybe I can also, why not be let's say a future interpreter of sign language?
Why not?
Oh, that's very interesting. Well, as you know, we have got through. Coronavirus outbreak has also arrived in Gabon, and we're very sorry for that.
Yeah.
But why not also sensitize? Deaf-mute. Yeah. How will we say Gabon has now recorded 3 positive cases of new coronavirus.
Okay, start again.
All right, okay, let's go ahead. Gabon has now recorded 3 positive cases of new coronavirus. Oh, that's pretty interesting. So if we want to say, please be careful. Pretty interesting. And now, watch your hands very often. Thank you very much. Now, as long as we hope that, because we know we are, let's say, we've got quite a lot of viewers, and I'm pretty sure that deaf-mute also watch our program.
Of course,
that's very interesting. Now, definitely, at university level, sign language or science, is it taught at university level as well?
In our country, not yet.
Oh.
In Gabon, not yet. That's the fact we have to make in order that sign language also can be taught in our university. Okay.
So maybe your books, maybe this one, why not already talk a little bit about it? Can we also learn sign language from this book, or?
Not exactly.
So, okay.
You have just an alphabet. But in this book, you can learn the deaf history in French, in America, and also in Gabon.
Okay, so briefly speaking, what is the history of deaf people in Gabon?
In Gabon, we have some personalities as Andrew Jackson Foster, who came in Gabon and teach American Sign Language. We have also Mr. Banza, who is considered as the father of sign language in Gabon, and other person that you can find in this book.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. So is it a universal language? What I mean is, if, for instance, you are an interpreter of sign language here in Gabon, suppose you go to France or in America, for instance, will you be able to communicate with deaf people there as well?
This is a good question. It is important to say that I think there is not a universal sign language. In fact, each country has its own language. Yes, for example, here in Gabon, we have Gabonese Sign Language. In France, we have French Sign Language. In America, American Sign Language, British Sign Language. So each country has its own sign language.
Does it depend on maybe social reality?
The social reality and the culture also.
The culture, so I understand. And as long as Gabon doesn't have the same culture with the other countries, so it's normal that Gabon has got its own sign language and that other countries will have them as well. That's pretty interesting and it's understandable anyway. So now, let's talk about the integration in Gabon. Do you think they are well integrated in Gabon?
Not at all.
How can we achieve?
Not at all, because deaf people in Gabon, the situation of deaf in Gabon is so bad. Because first of all, the education of deaf people in Gabon. You know, we have just in Gabon a primary school. We don't have a secondary school for deaf people. So the integration cannot be possible in this case.
Understand.
And also we don't have a professional training for deaf people. So how can they be integrated in our society without education, training, and communication?
Understand. So if I understand, many of them don't have any family. I mean, what I mean is they don't have, most of them are not married, they don't have any children, or some of them.
No, they are married and have children. Yes.
So, what's if definitely maybe even though they are not yet any junior high school or high school, let's say schools, and why not also we said no university for them, but still they have some of them do work, do they or not?
Yes, of course.
So what do you think are the appropriate jobs they can perform, that they can do?
Normally, it depends on the training they receive. What I see with them is that they used to do the little jobs, as we call, like electricity and other jobs, because of the lack of a professional training for them.
Yeah, I understand. So I've heard, I've never met it myself, but I've heard that there are some of them who are taxi drivers. Do you think it's normal?
Taxi driver in Gabon? I don't think so. I never meet. I don't think so. Yeah.
But are they allowed?
There are some deaf people who drive.
Is it normal for them to drive?
But why not?
How will they suppose a cop arrest them for a checkup on the road? If they want to be controlled, how will he know that he's getting stopped?
Normally with signs. Policeman can use signs and deaf can understand what's happened. Yeah.
All right. Pretty interesting. Now, you trained police officers.
Yeah.
As long as you have got a cabinet, you are a manager of a cabinet.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit how you got in touch with them and how things went on with the national police?
Thank you for that question. In fact, when deaf people used to go at the police officer, and there was the difficulty to communicate with those people. So we used to go and to interpret between policemen and deaf people. So we think, why not give a training to that policeman in order that when deaf people come, they can communicate directly with policemen. That is why we do this training, and policeman was very happy to receive that training.
How many of them got trained?
About 18 persons.
You think it's enough, or maybe you need?
Not yet. Okay. Normally, we have to do more.
All right. Yeah. Good. But it's just a beginning, and I wish you good luck, because I can see you are the appropriate partner for the National Police.
Yes, of course.
That's very good. Now, let's talk a little bit about your, as long as you are also an author, let's talk about your book a little bit, because we're moving toward the end of this program. Okay. And, it's only 13 minutes. I'm sorry for that.
I understand.
So let's first of all start with this book. Can you tell us briefly about its content?
Yes, thank you very much. As I told, this book tells about the deaf history in France, in America, and also in Gabon. Okay. The first schools for deaf in Gabon, and also the teachers for deaf people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the second book then?
And the novel also, in this novel, we will discover a child who is looking for his father. And the particularity of this book is that the child is a deaf one.
Oh.
Yeah, a deaf one who is looking for his father.
Okay.
It's a very emotional history. You have to read it.
All right, okay. So I invite you, ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers, to purchase this book so that you can get acquainted with the history that he's actually telling inside. So now, maybe the last question is, can they be cured when somebody, let's say, is a deaf mute? Can he be cured?
It depends of cases.
Okay.
I think there are cases who can be cured.
Okay.
But other cases who is now impossible to do it.
Okay.
But I think that the specialist can tell us more about that question.
Very good. So we've come to the end. Maybe you have a last word to the viewers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Footby.
This is mine, yep.
And what I can say is that we have to help deaf people. We have to participate to their education.
Okay.
Because they are very a part of the society. We have to do something for them. And I remember someone who said that don't think about what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
That's it.
And I think don't wait what deaf can do for us, but what we can do for the deaf community.
That's a wonderful message.
Yeah.
Thank you one more time. So, Mr. Anise Mundiegu, right? Thank you very much one more time.
You're welcome.
For being here. Please mind to come back whenever you feel like.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's wonderful. So we've come to the end of the interview on Gabon 24. Thank you for accepting our invitation. I remind that you are Mr. Paul Anise Mundiegu, Manager of Sign Language Content Cabinet. Together we talk about deaf-mute people, sign language speakers, and social integration in Gabon. Thanks for following us. Ladies and gentlemen, keep watching us on social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, and we are also streaming on YouTube. Goodbye.